Hello, people. It's the end of day 3 and last day in Chicago. Been a good day, but I tell you, it started out kind of hard. I was getting the revelation and shocking news about all that was going on back at home and looking at the timeline on the Facebook and trying to coordinate with cousins and family members and everybody, making sure everybody was good and sending text messages. And then watching the TV screen and just watching people complain and fuss and argue and blame and point to blame. Man, it just was crazy, dude. And I was just very, very mindful of the fact that we need to focus on the fact that we had people who were doing life with people, teachers and administrators and police and ER and medical personnel and buses and National Guard who came to the rescue at the hand of strangers. Got an email from Money School from the principal basically just reminding people that even in spite of all the chaos, we had people who were really being Jesus incarnate. So let's focus on that, y'all. Just focus on the fact that, yep, we don't do snow. Don't point the blame. We just can't do it. And we're grateful for all of the people who made sacrifices on yesterday so that nobody got hurt, injured, or hurt, or harmed, or not fed. So, day 3 was just a day of just connecting with folks. Hung out with a new church planter in Florida, my boy of Arkansas, Memphis, Corey. He and I sat down and chewed the fat on multi-ethnicity. We know that Restoration wants to be a multi-ethnic congregation. So we've got to focus on that intentionally by staffing and putting volunteers in place. He's got some connections in Atlanta he's going to leverage with me. And then we also talked about the fact that multi-ethnicity really requires everybody just letting people come as they are, feeling as though it's a safe space. So that's what we're going to focus on. And after that, I went to the church planting track where it talks about churches who want to reproduce churches. That's another DNA or ethos of Restoration. We want to reproduce churches, and I got to sit through the first part of that. And it was talking about the why. So there were statistics that they gave us that were very, very enlightening around the fact that church planting is needed. Churches need to reproduce healthy churches, and we want to do that. And then that it was also the spiritual formation. One of the cool stories I heard today was this church plant in California that really goes to about 160. They just reproduced themselves, and it costs about $40,000 to do that, and people really look at it as a way to fulfill the mission of Jesus Christ. And shoot, man, to raise their $40,000, them cats was selling homes and cars and everything. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but we're going to find creative ways to reproduce churches. Then the cool part about it is I got to hang out with my coach, Dave Olson. He and I talked vision. He came up with some great language that I'll share with you, but really we want to let Jesus' words, Jesus' shocking words, disrupt people's lives so that they look at a new way of living. That's what we want to do, but we want to do that in the context of familiar. And so I'm really looking forward to those that can coming out, for everybody coming out. Will hang out with us on Sunday as we go to Perimeter Point Church, because we want to figure out creative ways that we can disrupt people's lives so that they can look at a new way of living with Jesus Christ. We're going to be at Perimeter Point at 10:30 up in Dunwoody. Then afterwards, about 11:30, 11:45, we're going to go and eat at Sweet Tomatoes, may sneak 10 minutes or so hanging out with their leadership team. Don't forget to look at your church questions. I sent you an email. Please respond back to it. Hope all's well. Man, it's been cold up here in Chicago, but it's been good. Had a great experience. I mean, I got about 18, 19 numbers. Going to invite some folk down at the A. Really just hanging out. Had lunch and pizza. Had some Chicago pizza today, y'all. Giordano's. It's great. But talked about church planning with a guy from Minnesota. Met a cool young lady who is doing her internship, her last year of seminary, Julie, Covenant. But we really talked about what it means to be covenant and the decentralization model of doing churches and all that good stuff. So we're going to be doing all that. Man, I can't wait to be back in Atlanta where it's warm. Even if it's snowy, it's warmer than what it is. Y'all pray that I get on this plane in the morning. That's all I got to say, y'all. It's been a good time. Thank you for your prayers, for your support. We're looking to hit the ground, continue to run and invite people to come to our events. On February the 2nd, we planning one on February 22nd. Look out for us. Restoration's coming. We're going to restore people. We're going to restore families. We're going to restore communities. One well at a time. Later. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. We got a website coming too. Later. Peace.